You can be high functioning and still be in survival mode. You can be getting things done, showing up for your family, supporting your clients, checking all the boxes, and still have a body that just doesn't feel safe. And this is why so many high achieving women miss this. They think they need more discipline, more rest, more supplements, more mindset work, more personal growth, more time off. But the deeper issue is that their nervous system is still organizing around protection. And when that happens, you do not just feel tired, you feel wired when you should be resting, heavy when nothing looks wrong on paper, easily overwhelmed by small things, pulled by other people's emotions, disconnected from your own body, your own truth, and your own inner steadiness. So in this video, I'm walking you through 7 signs your nervous system may still be stuck in survival mode, what that actually looks like in real life, and why this is about more than stress. Because from my perspective, this is also about personal sovereignty. If we have not met yet, I am Kara. I support high-achieving women who are burned out, emotionally overloaded, and ready to stop living in overdrive. My work blends nervous system healing, energy work, essential oils, and a deeper return to self. And this matters because many women are trying to fix exhaustion at the surface while the body is still carrying years of pressure, over responsibility, emotional absorption, and self-abandonment. So let's go into the signs. Sign number 1, you cannot truly relax. Even when you have time to rest, you finally sit down, but your body does not settle. Your mind starts scanning what still needs to be done and who still needs something from you, what you forgot, what tomorrow's going to require. You may look like you are resting, but inside you are still very much on. That is one of the clearest signs of a nervous system stuck in vigilance. Because when the body has learned that safety comes through doing, resting can feel unfamiliar, uncomfortable, or even guilt-producing. Sign number 2, you wake up tired, wired, or already behind. You slept, but you do not feel restored. You wake up with a tight chest, a buzzing mind, and that low-grade pressure before the day has even started. For many women, there is already an internal urgency running through the body. Before their feet hit the floor, they feel caught between wired and tired. They want to stay in bed because they're exhausted, but even staying in bed does not feel restful or rewarding because their system is already on. There's tension, irritability, and that sense that the day is already demanding something from them. So even though they are tired, they cannot fully settle. And this happens when the body stays alert, even during sleep. So yes, you may have technically rested and gotten some shut-eye, but your body did not release, and your nervous system did not fully decompress. Sign number 3, small things feel bigger than they should. You get a simple work-related text message, and it feels heavy. Your child spills a glass of water, and it takes everything in you not to yell. Your spouse asks you a normal question, and even giving a simple answer feels impossible. A small mess in the kitchen feels impossible to clean up. And when your nervous system is overloaded, everyday moments can feel disproportionately intense. And this is where a lot of women start judging themselves. They think they're becoming too reactive, too sensitive, or less patient than they used to be. But often what's really happening is that they're carrying too much, and even one small disruption feels like it could tip everything over. Their life could collapse. So when your nervous system is overloaded, everyday moments can hit your body like a ton of bricks. Sign number 4, you absorb everyone else's emotions. You walk into a room and immediately feel the tension. Someone is anxious, and now your body is anxious. Someone is frustrated, and now you feel the same frustration. Someone is upset, and by the end of the day, you're emotionally foggy and depleted. This happens a lot with empathic women, caregivers, healers, teachers, mothers, nurses, helpers. and women who've spent years managing the emotional atmosphere around them. Yes, this is empathy, but it is also a sign that your system has become overtuned to everyone else while under-attuned to you. Sign number 5, your body's always bracing. Your jaw's tight, your shoulders are up under your ears, your breath is shallow, your gut constantly feels off. You've been living this way for so long that you don't even notice the tension inside yourself, and you think this is normal. But the body is trying to tell you the truth. And when the body is always preparing for impact, it is very hard, if not impossible, to access healing, repair, softness, and true presence. Bracing is a survival pattern. It is the body saying, I am not safe. Sign number 6, you struggle to hear your own inner voice. You know what everyone else needs. You know what is expected of you. You know how to show up. You know how to perform. You know how to keep going. But when it comes to your own truth, your own needs, your own desires, your own yes and your own no, it feels harder to hear and harder to live by. And that affects everything. It affects your decisions, your boundaries, your relationships, your energy, your discernment, your ability to know what is actually right for you. You may keep saying yes when your body means no. You may keep giving long past the point of depletion. You may keep living by responsibility, pressure, and expectation while losing touch with what is true for you. That is one of the deeper costs of survival mode. It does not only exhaust the body, it pulls a woman away from her own knowing. And that is where burnout begins and becomes far more physical. It becomes disconnection from the self. Sign number 7, your self-care routines aren't working anymore. You're trying, and you're doing the supplements, the journaling, the meditation, the clean eating, the therapy, the practices, whatever you can, and some of it helps, but not enough. This is where many women start feeling discouraged because they're doing what they've been told should help or what has taken the edge off for them in the past, and they're now still finding themselves utterly exhausted, overwhelmed, totally reactive, and right back in the same cycle a few days or weeks later. And often the issue is not that they're doing the wrong things, it is that the body still does not feel safe enough to recover and to heal. Safety is not a small thing. It's the essential first step in the journey away from burnout and back to you. But this is also where many women get stuck. In fact, it's where I was stuck for years. You feel a little relief, you have a good day, you regulate just enough to keep going, and then you find yourself right back in the same pressure, the same overgiving, the same patterns, and the same depletion. So the problem is not that safety doesn't matter. The problem is most women get back in the game at the first signs of some relief. And when safety becomes the only goal, without addressing the deeper patterns underneath, the burnout, they stay caught in a chronic cycle of collapse and recovery, collapse and recovery, collapse and recovery. Because burnout is not only about stress, it is a real pattern in the nervous system, a real pattern in the body, in your emotional field. It's a pattern in the way a woman has learned to relate to herself. So yes, support matters, but safety changes what the body can do with that support. And going deeper than safety is what begins to break the cycle. This is why I care so deeply about this work, because burnout is not only about being tired. It is what happens when a woman has spent years overgiving, overfunctioning, overriding her body and absorbing too much and living in ways that slowly separate her from herself and the quality of her life. And from my perspective, healing is not only about calming stress, it is about reclaiming personal sovereignty. It is about becoming more rooted in your body, more honest with yourself about what you feel, more discerning with your energy, more protective of your emotional field, more resilient in your mind, and more connected to the truth of who you are underneath all the pressure and the to-do list and the responsibility. This is the meaning of the rise of the divine feminine. It is not a trend. It's a return to authority, a return to embodiment, a return to boundaries that actually protect your life force instead of shutting life out, a return to the kind of grounded feminine presence that no longer has to abandon herself in order to hold everything together. So if you heard yourself in any of these 7 signs, let this be your invitation to stop minimizing what your body has been carrying, not from shame, not from judgment, but from truth. Because the moment you stop calling your exhaustion normal, you create space for a different kind of healing. And the moment you realize that feeling a little better is not the same as breaking the cycle, you begin to look deeper. And that's the work I care about. Not just helping women get a little relief, helping them come back to themselves in a real and lasting way so they can live that dream life, make the impact, and leave the legacy. Helping them rebuild safety in the body, reconnect to their own knowing, and break the deeper patterns that keep burnout on repeat. So if this resonated with you, tell me in the comments, again, which sign hits home most for you? And if you're a high-achieving woman who's tired of living in overdrive and ready to come back to yourself in a deeper way, please hit the subscribe button and stay with me here, because this work truly is for you. It's calling you. And if you feel called, take a look at Radiant Evolution Collective, a place where you can return to yourself in safety, a place where you can feel confident that your soul can express itself from its deepest rooted place.